Hello. It is taking me forever to figure out the new live. Somehow I always forget how to do this. Today I wanted to talk to you about being inspired to do your writing because you don't need to wait for inspiration to hit for you to write. And I know we always think about, like famous writers or like people in movies that we see who are suddenly struck at like 2 in the morning and they have to get up and they write and write and write until dawn, and then they crash and they sleep the whole day away, and then they wake up in the middle of the night because it's super awesome to write in the middle of the night when no one else is asleep, and it's like a big secret and it's really sexy and all of that kind of stuff. But the truth is, most of us have regular lives that we need to address. We have children, we have jobs, we have grocery shopping, we have things that need to happen during the daylight hours. So we can't always write if inspiration strikes in the middle of the night because then we'll be tired, and tired does not equal good mommy or good uh, business coach or good runner or whatever it is that you're passionate about. So you have to make sure that you are ready to write when you're ready to write instead of sitting around waiting to be inspired. And on the flip side of that, if you're sitting around waiting to be inspired, like, have you ever forced yourself to try to do something? Like, it just doesn't work. If you're ever meditating and you're like, I'm gonna get an answer today, like the harder you do it, the worse it is because you're just blocking yourself from your creativity, right? So I wanted to talk about this waiting to be inspired and how we can work around that. Um, because I want you to actually write your book. So if you are sitting around waiting to be inspired, you could be waiting a while. That's not good. So I want to give you a couple tips for spurring this inspiration, for actually getting ahead and working on your book. Um, so if you are being awakened in the middle of the night and you're getting that like, I need to write right now, um, some people talk about like, their guides, their angels, whatever, coming to them in the middle of the night. Um, you can ask them to come during the day, or if that's not how you approach it, if you believe that you're just inspired in the middle of the night, then talk to yourself and say, hey, no, this isn't a good time. I'm going to jot down a note, but I'm going back to sleep. So you are in control, right? You are the one who has to pen this book. So whatever means you believe that you're getting downloads, you're getting inspiration, whatever it is, control that and say, this isn't the time. I'm going to do this at 3 o'clock today. I have 2 hours then, and I'm going to sit down and write then. And I would like to get my inspiration then. I would like to get my download at that point. You are in control. Always believe that you're in control because you are the one in control of your creativity. Okay? You have all of it in here, right? Um, so if you feel like this is happening to you, that's one thing that you can do. You can also trigger that inspiration. Some people are really inspired when they read a book, when they watch a video, um, you know, lots of different things. Reading something that you've written before. Those are things that can be inspiring to you. So if you find those things inspiring and oh, every time that I rewatch one of my videos, I always feel driven to give more. I always feel like creating more. I always feel like making another video, or I always feel like writing. Try doing that to spur your own creativity. Try doing that and giving yourself that inspiration. It's a gift. So if you have something that already works, absolutely embrace it. Absolutely try it. Um, go for it. Uh, so you know, there are lots of books that inspire me, right? When I read Brene Brown's Daring Greatly, I found myself so inspired clear through. I kept going, oh, this is a good thing, and this is a good thing, and oh my goodness, I could write about that. So what I did was, as I found spots in there that I thought were really inspiring, sometimes I would take a picture with my phone and I would save it for later. I'd email it to myself. That way I was forced to open that email and look at what the picture was. Um, I, I did different things. I made notes, whatever it was that I felt at the time, oh, hey, this is how I'm going to remember this. Sometimes I had to stop in the middle and just go, all right, this was really inspiring and I need to write my blog post right now. And I just stick a bookmark in and sit down and write that blog post. So this is a great way of triggering the inspiration. Um, it's just like basically walking into a restaurant and ordering it, right? You know that that ice cream cone always makes you happy. Go ahead, grab that ice cream cone. If you know that that specific author, when you read their stuff, that's what triggers your inspiration, grab that. Use that as your jumping off point and get started. Another tip, um, catch the moment when it comes. And I know that's not always feasible, um, but if it is feasible, if you're at home and you're having a relaxing day, if you're taking a mental health day, or if you're just, chilling at the park or whatever, have something there, because if you do get inspired, you want to make sure that you can write. Um, I've taken my kids to the park before and just brought a notebook with me because I get bored sitting at the park and my brain starts, spinning. It starts wandering. I'm sitting there enjoying the breeze and I'm like, got an idea. So I make sure that I catch that moment when I can. Of course, if I'm at home um, and I do have the ability to stop, my kids are older now, so it's not like I'm on call every single second of the day. I don't need to change poopy diapers anymore, and for that I'm thankful. But they're 5 and 7, so they are pretty much functioning on their own. They do need me for food sometimes, or just fetch them things, download games for them. But for the most part, if I say, hey, you know what, mommy will be right back, I can go in the office, sit down, take 10 minutes, and write down what I need to write down. So if the inspiration strikes, I seize it. And I'm also somebody who does not get the downloads in the middle of the night because uh, that would not work out for me. I'm not good at going back to sleep once I've been woken up. So I'm actually pretty pleased that that's not going on in my life. But if that's who you are, if you are somebody who's like, yeah, I get up at 3 in the morning and I feel empowered, I'm not ever going to tell you there's any wrong way to write your book. It's like eating a Reese's. There's no wrong way. So if you wake up in the middle of the night and you just have this download and you're like, I have to write right now, go write right now. If that works with your day, go write right now. If it doesn't, don't do it then. But if it does, awesome, good for you. Um, because if you can seize that inspiration and use it in that moment, you will love your writing. Um, when you feel that draw, do it if you can. Um, you know, a lot of times, this is just another example of something that inspires me. When I'm talking with a client and they're asking me questions or, we're going over their book, I'll catch something and I'm like, ooh, that's something that I could really, I could write about. I could expand on that. Or, you know what, I should do a video about that. That would be a good thing. This happens too, like if I'm at a networking event or if somebody reaches out to me online and they say, hey, I'm working on a book or I'm thinking about a book or wow, you've written books. What is this? How do you do this? What would you say about this? I'll say, oh, in the back of my head, I could write something about that. So listen to what people are asking you. Listen to what they're telling you about your industry, their frustrations, their confusion, their misconceptions. Be a mythbuster. If you hear something all the time, like I often hear, oh, I thought if you wanted to self-publish, you had to buy 1,000 books, or whatever number there. It's absolutely not true. You can do that. There are publishers that handle that for you. So if you want to buy 1,000 books and be done with it, that's an option for you. Um, I always recommend print on demand because for me, I don't want to commit to 1,000 books. Um, you never know. There could actually be a typo in there, and then I'm stuck with 1,000 books with one little typo, and it's going to eat away at me. Um, so, whatever works for you works for you. And I feel like I've gotten way off on a tangent here, but yeah, grab that inspiration and write, because your book is your business. So if you aren't working on that book, then you're not taking a step forward with your business. You're not creating something evergreen that you can be using as a marketing tool. Something that's super simple and super cheap to produce. Uh, you know, this this book here, it costs like $3 for me to get a copy, $3 or $4. If I'm ordering like 20, $3 or $4 a piece. So this is actually a very cheap tool for me to use. Um, and I'm not going to get into how I use it in this video because there are tons of other videos I've done where I talk about using your book. I've interviewed people about using your book, but the point is I want to make sure that you are seizing that inspiration and working on your business by writing your book. So if you're watching this in the replay, make sure you comment below. Let me know what you're doing. Ask me some questions. Let's talk. I want to make sure you're writing. So let me know about it. So have a good day, and I will be back on another time to talk to you guys about books.